Guys, make sure you're following us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
It massively helps us out. Enjoy the episode.
The division system worked so well because it meant every friendly meant something to us.
Yeah.
And the audience picked up on that, and that's where we had the advantage. It wasn't actually about who the opposition were. We played we beat some teams we had no right to beat, 100%, and we beat them because we cared.
Yeah.
Not because we lined up some patsies to beat. There was like one or two teams like that, sure. Yeah. But that was our advantage, was we went into every game knowing it meant something. But as it got nearer the time, the opposition we were playing did know what we were trying to get.
Yeah.
You know, like that America trip, like 100%, yeah. We went into that game, the boys, it was Palmer's game, wasn't it? Did you play in it?
Yeah, I played Palmer's.
The Palmer's game, obviously a massive moment in YouTube
Yeah, it was.
history.
Yeah.
The boys didn't know. Only me and Seb knew that we were playing for an America trip. And me and Seb had said, if we don't win this game, we will not go to America.
Really?
We hadn't paid for anything.
It was
we hadn't
completely
committed
serious.
to it.
Like,
Really?
it was
100%.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like, so when we won that game, obviously we were all buzzing to beat Palmer's, but me and Seb were like, we're going to
Thank God.
And then we told them afterwards, we were like, just so you know, boys, your reward is we're going to America.
all of the hashtag boys have just finished performing, clapping to the crowd, and you two were crying on the side. What are they doing?
The trip.
Yeah.
No,
Why are they so happy?
We literally hadn't even booked it because we weren't going to do it if we didn't win that game.
God.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
almost got into a fight in that game.
Oh, everyone did, mate.
Yeah, that's like YouTube folklore.
Yeah.
Mate, I don't know who it was. Like, I think it was like Knowlesy or someone. Like, I was walking away for a freak and he accidentally tripped me up. Like, I look back at the footage, it was a complete accident.
Yeah.
But because of the height and pressure, I just turned around and go, "What have you just done?" And it was just a
it's
complete accident. I felt so bad.
That's the division system, remember?
Yeah, it's friendly.
Palmer had their own reason for wanting to win that game as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I've talked to him many times, and me and Smith are on great terms now, but I've talked to him many times about the anxiety that we all probably were suffering as a result of that game. Because you think, like, if I lose this game, what happens to my YouTube channel?
Yeah, bragging rights, isn't it?
Yeah. But even Palmer's, like, the division system is what made us really want to win that even more, I would say, because we were legit playing for a trip to America.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was what made the whole thing work. We knew we didn't want to do Sunday football, right? Not because people think some of the reason we got hate because people thought we were looking down on Sunday football. It wasn't that. It was actually a compliment, if anything, to Palmer's. It was like, why do that? These guys do it already really well.
Yeah.
I don't just want to copy what someone else is doing. So then, as a result of trying to be different and unique, we then got a bit of stick, which is fine. You know, you can take that. But it worked perfectly because it meant that we could play games whenever we wanted, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Sunday, whatever. We could arrange it because every game is a shoot.
Yeah.
You know, it's a production.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we never were a slave to any fixture cancellations or games being called off because of the weather. We can put our games on a 3G, all these things. It made it all work, didn't it?
I think that's what I liked so much about it, was that it wasn't a weekly thing. It was like every 2-3 weeks, whatever, sometimes every month.
Yeah.
And each game was so important and meant, for me personally, I could actually recover between each games.
Yeah.
So I could actually play in them.
Yeah.
And like, thanks to you, like, I've played at the Emirates.
Yeah.
Twice.
In like 2 weeks as well.
In
wasn't
2
it?
weeks,
Like
yeah.
back to back.
One of them, we got battered.
Yeah.
And the other one, we battered them. And I scored 2 or 3 or something.
That you scored a really good goal as well. I remember the 1-2.
No, I scored 2 really good goals.
I remember the 1-2 of Charlie Morley and the little finesse.
Yeah, the curling one.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
there's another one I cut inside and banged it top bin as well.
Yes. Now, we've played the crazy places.
Like, thanks to you, there's so many people who have like ticked off things on their bucket list that they'll never ever dream about doing.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but also I would say thanks to the viewers because,
Yeah.
of course, like, all I did really is I decided that's the sort of content I wanted to make.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for the guys watching and the
Absolutely.
sponsors, for example,
Yeah.
And Seb.
made it happen, and Seb, like, massively, then we got to do that stuff. But I mean, like, even I take pride that you got to play at Wembley multiple times.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
You played
played
the second
twice.
one,
Yeah.
I take pride in that, even though you weren't from my team.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I enjoy doing. And even though there was always that competition to an extent, you know, and some of us took it more seriously than others, it was like, I still, in the bar afterwards, would be like, well, he got to play at Wembley today, that's great. He got to play at Wembley today, that's
It is
great.
cool.
So it's wicked,
To
isn't
bring
it?
your friends with you, like, to your achievements, their achievements as well, it's a good, like, collective progression.
I got one of my mates to play at Wembley like last month, and it was like one of the best feelings I've ever had ever.
Yeah.
Like seeing, like, they'll never ever get that opportunity again.
No.
To see, like,
Unless I
make it happen.
Yeah.
So let's touch on the last Wembley Cup then.
Yeah.
I would say it was different to the other Wembley Cups, wasn't it?
Yeah,
What
100%.
someone, actually, a viewer did say, do you have any regrets, if any, from that one?
No.
Or did you still thoroughly enjoy it?
I made a video talking about it. I definitely didn't enjoy it as much as the others. And of course, we didn't win it. And that's part of that is undeniably associated with that. But it was more that from a case, there's multiple facets. From a hashtag perspective, it's like we didn't get a fair crack at the whip. No teams did.
Yeah.
We got half an hour. When Rebel went 1-0 up, it's like,
a goal wins the game, right? At that point,
and I was in a certain place at that time where I was like, I didn't even want to play in it. I wanted to use that spot to give more people a chance to play Wembley.
Yeah.
So I subbed myself off at half time. So I only played 15 minutes of football in the last Wembley Cup. I've never complained. I've played hours at Wembley.
I played 10 minutes.
Chris MD played for like 10 minutes for us, I think.
I think Joe got 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he was with Rebel, right? And Rebel got 2 games.
Yeah, it was.
So there's hashtag regrets like the least important because you win and lose. That's fine. I've got no problem with that. From an organisational standpoint, I would say I'm happy we did it because more people got to play at Wembley. People like Wes and Stampy and all these guys at hashtag who hadn't played in any of the others got to play. Definitely deserved to. I'm happy that we did it in the sense of there were still 20,000 people there. You know, a lot of people would have enjoyed that day. We got to play with more legends and stuff like that. It's wicked. But from a producer standpoint, it would be nicer to finish on the one before.
Yeah.
And that's not because we won it. It's because we had 34,000 people there. And one of the reasons we had less people in the fourth one, not that I'm complaining with 20, was a couple of reasons. One is it was the way the format worked with the teams. There was just less YouTubers, way less YouTubers. No side men, none of those guys. But also it was because we got stitched up a little bit. You might remember in the build-up because Tottenham were playing there. That's why the pitch was in such bad nick.
Yeah.
The date got pushed back a month. Then it got moved to a Sunday. And it was like people would travel down from wherever to these games. Are they more likely to come on a Sunday if they've got to get back? All these things. So I think that affected it. But I have no regrets. I don't think it would be useful to have any. I just think it affected whether I'd do a fifth one.
Right. That was going to be a question. Yeah. So, okay.
And I think non-league had kicked in by then. So it was like, you can't really do it all. It's just too much. You got a game to organise. Maybe we do less of the sexy stuff now. I get that. We don't go abroad as often and all that, although we have had COVID for the last year and a half. But for me, personally, we do stuff that's much cooler now. But you wouldn't be without all that stuff. So I love all that. We just had the foresight, I think, after a couple of years of that, to go, cool. Selfishly, I could extend this a bit longer. I could do a couple more tours with the boys, play a few more games that I have no right to play in, and then I could just wrap it up. Yeah. But I'm like, well, no, I want to, as I told you earlier, the whole point was to create something. Yeah. Well, this needs, the reason it worked, those format playing a game once a month, for you, was the exact same reason that loads of you couldn't do it when we went to non-league. Yeah. Because half of you lived 2 hours away. That was it was the training twice a week, all these sort of things. Yeah. You then had to find the players who could commit, and to commit to non-league football is a lifestyle. Yes. Whatever your job is, whatever your relationship status is, that has to come first, or else you're not going to get picked. Basically.
You don't get weekends, and you get 2 days out of your week. You're training twice a week now.
Training twice a week,
train twice a week.
Sometimes playing twice a week. Yeah.
It's serious. Like you basically have no life.
I think non-league football is the hardest form of football personally, because you don't get the money, but you have to pretend you're a pro. Basically.
Yeah, the reward to effort ratio is just terrible.
And that's what you might have been there. One of Dev's, who's our gaffer, one of his first training sessions he did with us, and because there's this term semi-pro, it doesn't really exist because you might get paid enough that's sort of not quite a full-time wage. That's what it means. But he's like, there's no such thing as semi-pro. He's like, you just have to be professional in your outlook, or you don't. And he was like, if you're going to play for this club from now on, you have to be professional in your approach. That's where the word professional is used, not because you're being paid professionally, because you need to act professional without the money. Which means put in football first, which means you don't just do your 2 training sessions a week and you play. You go to the gym, you become the best version of yourself. Yeah. And you can still see in the games in our team as well as other teams, the ones who are like that and the ones who aren't. And it's no surprise the ones that kick on. Because they just live and breathe, I'm going to be a footballer. Even at 23. Jamie Vardy was playing non-league football in his 20s, whatever. You know, you can still make it. And I like seeing those characters in the leagues. There's a lot of them out there.